So, I know some of you probably have seen the previous video with the failed launch, which would have been this homemade test rocket. I built this primarily just to test propellants, homemade propellants, to make sure that they worked properly. But for those of you who don't know a whole lot about rockets, may want to know something if you are planning on doing any testing of any sort or experimenting. First of all, everything on here looks pretty proportionate, right? You got, caps, nozzle, fins, looks pretty decent. It's not necessarily a nose cone, it's a little blunt, but that wasn't the point. It was basically designed to just test the thrust or throttle of a propellant and to see if it lifted this off of a launch pad. Primary problem with this design is if you do not have a igniter, then this most likely will not work. Your propellant may always burn, and it may always seem to come out fine when you do tests, after you finish cooking it. It may work great, or at least seem to, until you pack it into one of these or into an actual rocket. Do not try to test it with any sort of firework fuse or cannon fuse, because here's the problem. The fuse, once inserted into the bottom, which is the only way you're going to be able to do it, and you shove it all the way to the top of the propellant like you would normally with a igniter, is not going to work the same as an igniter. Problem is, because when you light it down here, it's burning all the way up. No good. Igniters are designed to start the burn at the top so that the propellant burns from here all the way down. It's not going to work if you shove it all the way up. It doesn't matter. It's still going to burn from the bottom up, and that's not going to work. So you might want to try considering getting igniters before you do anything like this. It's just not going to work. So anyway, that's my little learning curve, and you do not want a failed launch. Do it the right way. You can use something like this if you have made something like this, but make sure you buy an igniter that burns hot enough so that it'll ignite from the top and burn all the way down.